And we're live. Hello and welcome back to the Better Than Bitcoin podcast, where I talk about the future of money. I'm your host, Jamie Dabaskis. Sorry I didn't make an upload last week. I had a bad stomach bug that everyone on my dorm floor got, and I was yakking all last weekend. But now I'm good, making episode 4. We're all set. Anyways, there's been a lot of things that happened to me in relation to Bitcoin over the past 2 weeks. To start it off, I made and presented a persuasive presentation in my oral communications class about why you should buy Bitcoin right now. I made it. I thought it was so cool. I gave the presentation with like a short term outlook and mostly a long term outlook for Bitcoin. So I'm just going to go over like a brief summary of what I said because I thought it was pretty cool. So I started out by showing my credibility to the class by saying that I am a computer science and finance double major. I also briefly showed and gave the class a taste of what I know about technical analysis, specifically Elliott wave analysis. Then I showed a fundamental indicator, which was the two Forbes articles that I found. So for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, at Jane Dabaskis, it'll be on the screen like somewhere. Then what I'm referring to is basically I saw an article that Forbes posted a day before Bitcoin rose 40% on my birthday. So the Forbes article was posted on the October 24th, 2019, because my birthday was the 25th. And the article is basically like it was a bearish view on Bitcoin saying, oh, it's going to crash again. It already crashed. Everyone's going to lose all their money. Like a very like negative article. And I saw that when it first got posted, and I got curious, and I did some digging on Forbes' website and some Google, and I found another article literally saying the exact same thing after Bitcoin dropped big from its all-time high of $20,000. A few days after that article was posted, Bitcoin basically placed in a big bottom and started a new uptrend. So it was kind of like an obvious indicator when the new article was posted that like a new uptrend could start even though it did start, pretty sure. Anyways, that was like the two major things I pointed out in my presentation. I also compared to Bitcoin's 10-year yield and compared it to Apple's and said like, oh, if you took that one share of stock in Apple, like 23.56, I think it was 10 years ago or 9 years ago, and you put that in Bitcoin 10 years ago, and Apple would be worth like 200 something dollars, which isn't bad for return rates. That's not bad for 10 years. Or is it? I don't know. But if you put that $20 in Bitcoin instead of Apple, you would have made like 4 point something million dollars. So like off of initial investment of $20. So that's why I was like showing it off and how insane Bitcoin is since in 10 years that's returns. Yeah, that was the first topic. Another topic I want to talk about on this episode is to teach about some other coins that exist. There are a lot of other coins other than Bitcoin that exist out there. There are a lot more digital currencies and cryptocurrencies other than just Bitcoin. For example, if Bitcoin is seen and considered as like digital gold, then another coin called Litecoin is seen and considered as like the digital silver. Litecoin is a slightly faster Bitcoin, it's just slightly faster Bitcoin, but it doesn't have like the first movers advantage that Bitcoin has. So what I mean by that first movers advantage is that Bitcoin was the first, therefore people always see it as value, because there's always going to be coins that pop up saying, "Oh, I can do what Bitcoin does, but 20 times faster, 100 times faster, 100 times cheaper, 20 times cheaper." But Bitcoin was there originally. It already has the momentum of 10 plus years, or 10 years exactly, or something like that. Or, yeah, 10 plus years, 2008. 10 years of price performance, I guess you can call it. When all these new coins are just popping up, trying to be like either get rich quick schemes or just pump and dump coins. So I'm going to highlight a couple of coins that I see are pretty good. I'm not invested in any of these coins. because I'm mostly a Bitcoin guy. But it is key to look at the other ones, the other options that are available. So I'm gonna be picking off like the top ones, not like some obscure coin, but like another token that's very popular is called Ethereum. Ethereum basically aims to be simply programmable money through the use of what's called a smart contract. A smart contract is a self-executing contract that can distribute funds without a third party. For those of you who don't know, the best example of a use case for Ethereum that I usually tell people when I describe it is if you want to buy a car through a private party, the seller could hypothetically create a smart contract that can distribute the title of the car to the buyer once the buyer sends money to the contract itself, and then it self-executes and gives the title and gives the seller the money. It's almost like a digital middleman. Basically, that's literally what it is. Um, Another one last cryptocurrency I want to highlight is the XRP token. XRP is a token created by a company called Ripple. XRPs used to be a middleman token to convert and send money across the world, and its transaction time is 4 seconds, and the transactions cost for that is fractions of a penny. XRP and other technology created by Ripple, because Ripple does a little bit more than just digital assets. It's used to be a middleman token again to convert and send money across the world. That's what I just said. Whoops, my bad. It's used to replace the current bank transfer technology called SWIFT. SWIFT is our current bank transfer technology that the entire world uses. Compared to XRP, SWIFT transactions are slow and costly. I mean, like, imagine sending money to your family across the world in seconds, and it costs close to nothing. It costs, I think it was like 0.000 like 1 or 2 XRP, and XRP is like 20 cents a coin, so that's going to be even just 1/100th, 1/1000th of a penny to send money. I mean, even for like high net worth individuals, sending $1 billion for like the cost of a couple pennies is just mind blowing. So yeah, those are just some 2 tokens, or technically 3, because I talked about Litecoin a little bit. Those are the 3 tokens that I see that basically are not going to go away. They're not going to just disappear overnight. Those are the other tokens that will almost complement Bitcoin, I think. So another thing I want to talk about, moving on to another topic that I want to talk about in this episode is Coinbase's Earn program. Coinbase, which is a Bitcoin exchange, for those of you who don't know, they have a program called Coinbase Earn that allows you to learn more about what all these cryptocurrencies do. So not just the ones I described about that. They talk about the obscure tokens, the ones that are pretty not well known. And after you learn about the coins, it gives you like a small 1-question quiz after each video. And if you get the quiz question right, then it rewards you with some crypto, which is always fun. It's basically just free money. And free money is also really good. So the reason I bring this up is because every once in a while, Coinbase adds another lesson for another coin to earn more money. And 2 weeks ago, I was going to talk about it. I was going to record last week. But 2 weeks ago, Coinbase added lessons for the what's called a Tezos coin. I think it's a coin about like I think it's built off of Ethereum, and it made its own coin, because usually a lot of coins are built off of Ethereum and then they branch off and make their own thing, but they're usually originally built on Ethereum, the one I described about a couple minutes ago. But Tezos, I think it was geared towards upgradability, because Bitcoin has had some issues when it comes to what changes they want to make to Bitcoin. They have to consult the entire network, and then what ends up happening is nobody can decide, so Bitcoin ends up hard forking. So original Bitcoin, the most infamous hard fork is when Bitcoin split off from Bitcoin Cash, because they are deciding of how big they want the block size to be. and they couldn't agree on that. So that's split to Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And then Bitcoin Cash later, that's just dumpster fire. Bitcoin Cash split off into Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision, or Bitcoin SV, and then split off into Bitcoin SV and then Bitcoin Cash ABC. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Anyways, ooh. Anyways, yeah, Tezos is like, it makes everybody who owns tokens like have a vote versus everyone who mines. So it makes the voting and like almost like democracy of it a lot more transparent, a lot more easier to vote new changes to the Tezos blockchain into action. So they added that coin. That's a little bit what I learned about it. That they have videos on it if you want to learn more about it. The Coinbase Earn program is so cool because it basically gives crypto as an incentive to learn about it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to link my Coinbase Earn invite codes for 2 coins because I get a kickback if you complete it. If you're listening to this elsewhere, then I'll post a link on my podcast's Twitter, @BetterThanBitcoin. I'll throw that up somewhere on the screen. Jesus. Somewhere on the screen. One last thing to add before I go, and pretty short episode, just wrapping up what I saw the past 2 weeks. I wanted to share so that next time I'm free to make another YouTube video for my main channel. That's just Jamie Dabauskas. That's my main YouTube channel. Next time I'm free to make another YouTube video for that channel. It would be about what the video I'm pondering about is what technical indicators I use to analyze Bitcoin charts. Because recently I've posted my first like analysis on Bitcoin. Because I usually try to like stray away from like publicly sharing my, because all analyses are opinions. So I'm trying to like stay away from sharing my opinion and then it being wrong and people hating on you or whatever. But like, because it's technically not trading advice, but it's also technically just what I see. It's what I trade on. So I just kind of want to share it. And I shared it for the first time like I shared it for the first time on Friday. So a couple of days ago I posted it. And it's been doing pretty well. A lot of people like it on TradingView. So I'm thinking about making a follow-up video about how I do that and stuff like that. I think some people will like that. So yeah, that's all for episode 4 of Better Than Bitcoin podcast. Peace out.